President Biden's inner circle has been discussing delaying the repeal of Title 42 border restrictions, now set to end May 23rd, according to a source with direct knowledge of the internal discussion. Why it matters is, well, the White House is looking for ways to buy time to avoid a massive influx of migrants that would add to already historic border numbers. That already endangers the Democratic incumbents in states that could decide a Senate majority in November. Biden officials recognize that they're in a jam, and moderate Democrats are pounding on them to delay the repeal, but doing so would inflame the party's progressive base. That includes members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, who are scheduled to meet with the president next Monday. A full reversal of the decision to end Title 42, announced by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on April 1st, is considered by Biden officials to be far less likely than a delay. Reversing the decision would effectively force the White House to overrule the CDC. If you read between the lines, the CDC's Title 42 order was first issued in March of 2020 under the former President Donald Trump. It used the pandemic as a reason for turning back migrants attempting to enter the United States without a chance to seek asylum. Biden has benefited from the border restriction, but also been reluctant to overrule the CDC throughout the pandemic and is unlikely to start now. Title 42 is a public health authority from the CDC, and we continue to defer to the CDC on its use and how long it will be in place. Closed quote. This comes from White House spokesperson Vedant Patel. When it is no longer in place, migrants who attempt to enter the country unlawfully will be placed in immigration proceedings. Asylum and other legal migration pathways should remain available for those seeking protection, but those who do not qualify will be promptly removed to their countries of origin. Closed quote. And behind the scenes, the Biden administration officials have been arguing to their Democratic allies that keeping Title 42 allows for less immigration enforcement. They say that's because Title 42 is a rapid expulsion. Migrants are free to try to re-enter into the United States again after being expelled without facing any consequences. Title 42, once it's lifted, they say the administration will properly process migrants. People who are removed after being processed would face more serious consequences than those being rapidly expelled under the current system. The White House argues the White House arguments haven't worked on some key Democrats, though. In driving the news, well, the White House has faced an unprecedented blowback from vulnerable House and Senate Democrats. They publicly and loudly questioned if the administration has an adequate plan to process the influx of migrants repealing Title 42 is expected to trigger. 9 Senate Democrats, including Senator Gary Peters of Michigan, a chair of the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, are urging President Biden to reconsider his plan to end Title 42. This comes from Punchbowl News, which is what they reported on Tuesday. Endangered Democrats are bluntly and publicly warning of a political disaster in the midterms. They're pleading with the White House not to give Republicans an opportunity to paint the Democrats as the party of open borders. Quote, "The politics are pretty simple," Representative Henry Culler, Democrat of Texas, told Axios. He continues with, "The Republicans are going to hit the Democrats with those videos of people streaming into the United States," closed quote. And then he continues with, "Title 42 should be kept," said Culler, who represents a border district in the Rio Grande Valley. He said, "I know there's a debate inside the administration, but I don't know who is going to win on this one." On the other side, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus meeting next Monday will serve as a reminder for Biden that a crucial part of his party base will be bitterly disappointed if he reverses course and extends Title 42. Quote, "Asylum is a human right, and ending Title 42 is the right thing to do," said Representative Jesus Shu Garcia. This is the Democrat from Illinois. Goes on to say that now that the mask mandates are ending across our country, it is even harder for those who support Title 42 to say this policy is a matter of public health, Garcia says. Representative Veronica Escobar, who is a Democrat from Texas, says, quote, I hope the White House continues on its path to eliminating Title 42, closed quote. Now, let's work together on addressing this as lawmakers. Title 42 shouldn't be used as a substitute for real immigration policy, she says. The big picture, well, the politics around Title 42 have also complicated Mr. Biden's push for an additional $10 billion in emergency COVID-19 funding. 5 Democratic senators, including Senators Mark Kelly and Maggie Hassan, and 6 Republican senators introduced a bill before leaving for spring break, focused on the topic. Now, it would prevent the administration from lifting Title 42 without a detailed plan in place to address a potential surge of migrants. Now, Axios first reported this story, and the link will be down below in the description. But it says, by the numbers, as Axios has also scooped, intelligence officials have been bracing for an influx of migrants if Title 42 is ended, with some estimates from last month's predicting a mass migration event of more than 170,000 migrants. Now, Title 42 has been used for approximately 1.7 million migrant expulsions, and border apprehensions last month climbed to 221,000. That's the highest level since the year 2000. Well, that was a very nice story, but I think that they are a little generous when they think that, if they don't do anything to push this through, that people won't remember. People remember looking at pictures of people, scores of them coming over the border. People remember, no matter what side of the political line you're on, people remember. And at the end of it, the one face that everybody is going to remember, or at least a tableau thereof, is going to be none other than this guy, President Joe Biden, and his entire administration. For Headlines with a Voice, this is Felicia Lockhart.